Mm. Hey, what's up, y'all? How are y'all? My name is Diamond Styles. I go live every Friday at 7 when I have time, usually. Um, and I'm the host of Marsha's Play Podcast. And you can subscribe and listen here, or you can go on all streaming platforms iTunes, Spotify. We're there. And today we're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about Kamala. We're going to talk about the LGBT community. And we might throw some other subjects in because I actually want to talk directly to y'all about Rose Montoya and her alleged um, abuse of trans men. So, yes, how are y'all doing today? Hey, Trishan. Hey, Jay. I'm back to my bald head host shit. You feel what I'm saying? I am feeling, lesbian, beautiful today. you know, Giving you light skinned Ursula from Set It Off. It's something about the cut that you just eat up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, both Jays. I am what was I gonna do? Oh, I have some amazing news if y'all don't follow me. Um I have posted about it on a couple of my platforms. I am in a children's book. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I am in a children's book. You see her right there? That is me. Yay. It is called Becoming Who We Are, Real Stories About Growing Up Trans. And it features 5 people, and this is us as children. And it is very positive stories about growing up trans. It is intended for people ages between 8 and 12, so it's nothing spicy. You want the spicy stuff, you come to the grown 43-year-old woman. But if you want just me sharing my experience as a kid with a imperfect but loving family, yeah, you can check it out. This is a soft copy. I don't know where I put the hard copy, but I have the hard copy too. But this is the soft copy, and the hard copy you can do or whatever. Um, and it's so amazing. I'm really, in these times, as far as this attack on trans youth and attack on supportive parents, I think us collaborating on this project, and it was really really thorough. So of course, is the subject matter is trans people, but the illustrators are queer people. The creators are invested in the uplifting of trans people. And so, this is specifically for the kids, and just to make them feel safe and make them feel seen, and to let them know that it gets better. And I think that's important in this time because, like I said, it's not only attack on trans children and the healthcare. They started with the kids because it's like, ooh, you're messing with the kids. You're grooming the kids. They're using that kind of negative rhetoric, but they also are attacking parents that are supporting their children, who are actually following the guidelines of psychiatry association, and tons of medical professionals, actual medical experts. They are following the guidelines to support their children and give them a happy life. And so these parents are also getting attacked. So we wanted to create something that they can read and they can use that is kid appropriate. So they can feel inspired and know that they have a whole community out here and a whole world of people that love them, despite the other side of the world who is haters and trying to stop them from getting health care and stop them from supporting their children and calling them abusers and groomers and blah, 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 blah. We wanted to create something. We wanted to put something more positive out in the world. And I am so proud to be a part of this type of project. I can be a pessimistic bitch and do and do all the negative and talk all the shit, which I would be doing because I we're going to talk about Kamala Harris, who has the mixed reviews. But in regards to the children, I really want them to be positive because we if you're queer or you're trans, they're gonna have tons of battles when they get into adult. And so at least in their youth, they can have the positivity of their parents and stories that I wish I had when I was a kid that were nowhere near in existence. And so, yes, I am a part of a children's book. I'm so excited. This is so amazing to me. So make sure you check it out. And yeah. Oh, thank y'all. Hey, Marissa. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Angel. Who didn't I say hi to? I said hi to both Jays and Shay. Yeah. Make sure as you come in, you thumbs up if you are a return viewer. If you are a new listener, welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. And yeah, what's the typical stuff? Yeah. I don't ever say the stuff, but make sure you hit the notification bell so when I go live or when I post something, you can get notified. All that kind of stuff. What else? Oh, do y'all like my beat? I don't have any foundation on, but I do have Jones Road Beauty Balm, which is Bobbi Brown's new makeup line, which I really, really love. I've always thought Bobbi Brown was a good makeup company, but she sold her old company and then she created a new one. And so this is a really smooth beauty balm that gives you a little color. They have ones that are like highlights and it's it's just really really moisturizing and smooth. It does have I think it's really really good for people. I have oily skin, but I like my face to be oily. I feel like oily keeps you young and oily gives you a sheen and youthfulness that is cute. So I love it. But I think this is be good for dry folks. um but yes, I have on Jones Road, and then I have on, if you just want to imagine what I smell like, I have each and every deodorant. This is the no aluminum, all the kind of stuff that none of the harsh chemicals. I love Native, but this one is a little bit more better. Is it a little bit better? Not more better. A little bit better. And they have just a range of really fresh and sensual, or fresh and clean and sensual scents that you can choose. I love the mandarin and raspberry, and I also love the rose one. But this one is the geranium and snow mushroom. And I love this one, and this is what I have on now. It is really a light floral scent with a clean, fresh citrus smell, and I love it. And so I have that on my pits, and I also followed up with Seaside Mimosa, which is an amazing spray that does not exist anymore from Bath and Body Works. They bring it back sometimes, but it is one of those ones that I discontinued. So that's what I smell like. On my lips, I have Color Stay, I think Super Stay, matte Maybelline matte ink in the color. The number is 135 and it is Globetrotter. I like brown lips because, I think it looks cute on me. But yeah, that is what I have on. That's what I'm smelling like. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling today. How are y'all feeling? The right amount of oil, it looks well moisturized and radiant. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It does. Hey, Ty, how are you? Oh, one of the good things about this book is, so since Ty is here, we talked about it when I told her about the book. So because this is in my childhood, there's a lot of cute ass moments on here where I'm talking about where it kind of just memorializes cute moments in my youth. Like this part, this book, this is me. This is a depiction of me and my little brother when we were, pre-transition, me pre-transition, and this is us changing my youngest brother's diaper. And one time, me and him I was changing a diaper, showing him how to change a diaper, and Rakim, the youngest baby boy, we was changing his diaper. As soon as I took the diaper off, he peed all in my face, and my other little brother is just sitting there laughing. And it's a little cute little story that we laugh about as siblings. And this is a picture of it, which I think is so cute. So that is super super dope. And then there's a portion where I talk about the story gets to me finding friends when I was younger. So of course, my my first trans friend would be Ty. And so this is the story of us when we were in the group home, and we were dancing to and we were dancing to um Stilo by 702. And then we were having a she was one of the first people that when I met them, there was no reason to lie about being trans or gay or whatever we was figuring out at the time. There was no reason to hide it because we were kindred spirits. And so it's so dope to have this book memorialize that moment in my life, because that was as y'all know, we are friends to this day. And so having a book to memorialize that moment with my brother and more memorialize that moment with my friend, and then other moments, even they even have a moment where they share about when I went to the prom or whatever, and the news story, and just multiple other moments. It's just a whole cute little comic strip of and here's some of the other stories. There's, like I said, it's different illustrators each and every time. But yeah, I think this is so dope. Yeah, that's such a dope memory to memorialize about my life. So I'm so happy for it. Love it. Hey Andre, how are you? But yes, 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 yes. So let's talk about let's get to we usually do it. Yeah, like 10 minutes. It's like 12. Yay. We usually do I'm just gonna get into what we need to talk about because I find this to be quite hilarious. Not hilarious, but okay. Hey Raven. All right, so let's talk about Kamala Harris. What are some of the things that are coming up for y'all in regards to like your news feed, in regards to what you think about Kamala? So it is what I have noticed, which is quite ironic. What I have noticed, the harshest, and this might be my bubble, but y'all tell me if y'all see this as well. Um, the harshest critique of Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, um, is coming from left people. Like when it comes to saying stuff that is powerful, that is legit, quote unquote legit, it is left people who are given the most power, like genocide, like supporting the genocide in Israel against Palestinians. You know, she was a top cop. She was she's a cop, and she arrested um she was locking black men up and blah 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 blah. I heard that. um yeah. I heard those things, and that's usually coming from people left of center on the Democrat side, because on the GOP side, They are literally what they're talking about is her laughing, how she laughs, how she smiles, and how she's dancing. Like literally, they have no negative, um, there's no negative substantive critique of her because they can't critique her about Palestine and Israel because them over there, they support that shit. So they can't use that. They can't say she's a cop as a negative because that's the blue line people over there. So they can't say anything negative about cops. So literally the only thing that they can say is about how she giggles too much, how she's dancing. Like they showing videos of her dancing at a cookout or something. Like they literally have no critique of her. They no longer can have the critique of her being old because she's not the old client. She's not the old candidate client. She's not the old candidate. Now Donald Trump is the old candidate. And they can't do too much, even though, they dog whistle about the women. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like the people who are giving her the harshest critique is the ones on the left. Let me see what y'all said. I'm so curious to see what everyone says. She's not too far left. She's not too far right. She has to play it safe in order to advance. They keep sensationalizing her dating history on Twitter, grasping at straws, the most childish shit ever. LeBeau says, I think she's bad. I've never been so excited than I was Sunday. You think she's bad, but you're excited? Or is that the bad in a good way? I cannot not vote for her if these are the options. I would rather Pete Buttigieg, but she's it this time. I think not only will she win, but she will do what America needs. I can't handle another 4 years like 2016 to 2020. Another Trump presidency. Yeah, bad in a good way. Okay, she would chew Donald Trump up and spit him out if she wanted. Yeah, I'm excited about them being in a debate. um, yes, I am excited about Biden getting out the way. I think that was admirable of him. I think that is him putting his country first is the cherry on top of his career because this is a career finalization. He's old. He's not going to run for president again. He was president for 4 years. This is this presidency would be the cherry on top of his he's the longest running. He came in the youngest ever, and now he's one of the oldest. And so, this is a cherry on top of his career. I don't feel this is a failure. I feel this is him putting party first and saying, hey, um, I'm seeing that my whatever's going on with me cognitively is risking us losing, risking us winning. And from what I'm to understand from people that I know in politics and on the Hill, what it was is since the last election, he has declined, and so I can talk about it. Um, he has declined in a way that he can't, politic no more. He can't politic in the way that he used to. He just said that today that he will not debate her because I don't know if she's a Marxist. And they don't know if she's the nominee yet. That's what I heard. He is refusing to debate her, which is hilarious. Surely you can see that strategically bad. He's a coward. Of course, he doesn't want to debate her. So, so let's talk about the two critiques. Well, not really talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Well, duh. Let's talk about it. Not really go deep dive in it, but I want to know how important Palestine is to y'all when it comes to how you vote. Because I don't know, I haven't really thought this analogy through, but I haven't really thought this analogy through. So, but this is as close as I'm going. This is what I'm thinking. Um, Palestine is happening. So imagine I am in the house with a narcissist. My husband that I'm in a relationship with in my house is a narcissist. He is abusive, he is shady, um, he is stressing me out. So him stressing me out, stress leads to me, having a shorter life. Anybody who knows statistically on some sociology level, married women have shorter lives than single women because of the stress that marriage brings to them. Various reasons, kin keeping, blah, 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 blah. It is the opposite for men. Married men live longer than single men. Okay. So I say all of that to say I'm in the house with a narcissist. I'm married to him. He's abusive. He talks down on me. He calls me fat. He gives me a little bit of allowance. He's financially abusive. He is not giving me enough to take care of the household. He wants me to take care of the household. He I'm I am in an abusive relationship, marriage with somebody in my household. But next door, I know that the husband next door has his wife tied in the basement and is torturing her. But my husband is helping that husband cover it up or do it. Now I'm in my home getting abused, but not to that level. And I'm now finding out that my husband is helping and his sister. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, it's not in my home, it's not me, but I know it's connected because this whole system is, it could be me next. That's not happening in my home. But I care about what's going on in there. I care about what's going on over there. But there also is stuff going on in my own house that is a danger to me that I have to focus on. So that's how I feel about Palestine. Like, this is not the perfect analogy, but that's how I feel about it. That's happening in somebody else's house. I care. I know I'm connected with that because if they'll do it to them, they'll do it to me. And I know the global connection of oppression, and I know how imperialism works. But I live in this house, and and the project that is America, that is the imperialistic pariah. I know it's going to keep going whether I don't vote, whether I vote, whether vote for whoever I vote for or don't vote, the train is going to keep on going because me on a personal level don't have power to stop that. Now I can vote for somebody who is more likely to stop or who I'm more likely to push to stop because right now Kamala has doubled down on the support of Israel. That's problematic. And so we have to be honest about that. It's not that but we also have to be honest as Black Americans that we also don't have the luxury for another Trump presidency. And not voting doesn't put us in a position to organize and do what we need to do to stop that from happening and to stop what's happening with us right now. And as an organizer and someone who is always in an organizing space, I can't see myself not voting. It just feels dumb strategically. and I'm not calling anybody who's saying they're not going to vote. I'm not calling you dumb. It just, for me, it would feel dumb strategically, because if I believe in um organizing, like really on the grassroots work, on the ground work, where which I actually see participate in and see people doing, I much rather be organizing against a Harris administration. I'm going to be against them. I'm going to be against Kamala when she's the president. I'm going to be against any policy that is negative. I'm going to be calling it out. I'm going to be saying what is wrong. I'm going to be saying how it is harming. I'm going to be saying free Palestine. I'm going to be saying you got to stop. You got to do a ceasefire. You got to do. I'm going to be saying all the things I need to say against her and against the administration when they are in office. But I much rather be organizing against a Harris administration opposed to a Trump administration. Those are two different things and not even close. And I'm not even talking about, oh, it's a lesser of two evils. This is evil and they're right here. No, it is a big difference between a Harris administration and a Trump administration. And so if I'm going to choose to battle against an administration and think about who I am most likely to win the political battles, I am more likely to win the political battles against and have better negotiation results with a Harris administration as opposed to a Trump administration. Okay? And so so that's just focusing on the two options that we have, all right? The two options, Trump and Harris. The other option is not voting. You have a right to not vote. Now me, I have it's a part of my principle. It's a part of my own personal connection to my ancestors. I know people like, oh, people. I know it get hammered in people's head. Your people died for your right to vote. That has lost its sting to some people, particularly my generation and younger. That has lost its sting for some people. So stop saying it. You need to find something else to say. That doesn't work. But for me personally, in my own principle, in my own politic, I do believe that. And as somebody who practiced a religion that venerates my ancestors, I cannot disrespect them in a way to not vote. I literally appreciate the people who risked their lives and lost their lives for me to vote. It is disrespectful to me. Now, if you don't vote, if that's not important to you, I get it. I don't get it, but cool. That's your choice. That's your right. But me, I care about that a lot. I care about my ancestors a lot. The blood in my veins, the DNA in my veins is from them. And so it's a spiritual thing for me. So I care about it. I pray to them. I thank them. I venerate them every week. And so because of that, I can't throw my vote away. Okay. But say that you are somebody who don't have the principles that I do. You have some other principles. Not saying that mine are better than yours. I'm just saying you have, when it comes to your voting, there's some other principle or moral ground that you hold for yourself, and that is all right. I'm not saying neither one of us is right or wrong. Okay, I don't want to give that judgmental um stance on your own moral compass when it comes to voting. But let's talk strategy. Okay, let's talk about community care. Most of the time, people who are so passionate about not voting, I'm not, never Kamala, never Trump, I'm not voting at all. Most people who are passionate like that, they come from a place of self-righteousness or principle, or they say, they're doing this because y'all are sheep. I'm woke. I know what's going on. I know the real deal and y'all don't know. Or they're like, I care about I care about Palestine. Y'all selling out for voting. I care about black men getting locked up. And we'll talk about that later because that's a myth. Not them getting locked up, but Kamala locking up more men. They actually went down in her tenure. Um, um, but yes, it's usually from a place of I care about community enough to know better. So, okay. So to me, it is hard for me to believe that you care about community. And let me tell you why. I know that you might feel passionate about it and you're performing this passionate. But there are people on the ground. We are not talking about the powerful administration. We're not talking about the president, the governor, the mayor, the people in political power. There are people on the ground who are organizers, who are org leaders, who are community program leaders, who are directly engaged with funding. And that funding, and I'm telling you from experience as somebody who has worked as an ED for multiple years, who has worked in nonprofit for multiple years, there is a direct connection between how much money you get to help your constituents and whose administration is in power. There is a direct connection. What cuts are going to be made, what workarounds are going to be made for you to get certain money to help somebody who is homeless, to help somebody who is in need of services, in need of therapy, in need of food, in need of things. And this is coming from somebody who has worked in it. There is a direct connection between how much money my program that is able to feed people, that is able to house people, that is able to help somebody with surgeries, that is able to help somebody with hormones, that is able to help somebody get to abortion clinics because their state can't get them to an abortion clinic, but now they calling me and they got to come sleep with me until we can get them to a state that protects abortion. Or you see what I'm saying? The money that we actually get for these services has a direct connection to the administration who is in power. And so, if you know I'm an organizer and you know that I am going to be not giving up the fight, I'm going to be in the, because this is where how I get the money that helps the people that I know need help. If you know Diamond Stylz is going to be in negotiation or organizers that you know about issues that you know about issues like climate change, reproductive justice, trans rights, LGBT rights, housing, whatever issue that you care about. Okay. Now, me, I'm a Black trans woman. I care about women's issues. I care about LGBT issues. I care about hood issues. Whatever's going on in the hood, whatever going on with women, and whatever going on with LGBT people, those are my top because that's my identity. So I'm gonna care. I'm gonna care about those things. Do I care about other shit? Absolutely, I do. But these are my top things. Okay. Healthcare, housing, things that socioeconomic shit that affects my people, that leads my people to death. I care about that. So if you know, right now you talking to Diamond Stylz. I'm an organizer. I work with a lot of organizers. So Diamond Stylz. But I want you, if you don't follow me in my organizing work, think about the people that you do follow. Whoever it is you care about. If they are organizer doing grassroots work on the ground, if they are telling you that I am going to be at these tables with these powerful people in power, negotiating funding for my work, hard negotiations. How much money are they going to give me? 2,000 or 50,000? Are they going to give me 1.7 million or 100K? Are they going to give me, are they going to split it up within 3 years? Are they going to just give me it all in one lump sum? Are they going to not allow me to be specific and do equitable changes with the money that I'm doing, with the grant money that I'm doing, equitable changes and be specific about who I can help? Or are they going to make me broaden it out and include people who actually don't need the services? Like these type of negotiations is the negotiations that we actually do. Are they going to be using this conservative DEI anti-affirmative action thing to sue and that stuff that they're suing about when it comes to fearless fund and when it comes to affirmative action? Are they going to be using those talking points against me when I'm in these negotiations, or it's going to be somebody that I ain't even got to do that shit with? So if you know that I am telling you that I'm going to be in these negotiations that helps people that you say that you care about, why wouldn't you, just for the sake of helping me out, somebody who you trust, somebody who you know is on your side, why wouldn't you just throw your vote to who I want you to throw your vote to? That's going to make it easier for me to do my work. Why throw it away? And I'm telling you that I need it. I'm telling you that I need this vote. I need you to get out and vote because you can go and handle your business however you want to handle it and not be a part of the political system. But if I tell you, yo, you are eligible. Why is my words wearing me out? Eligible to, to, to vote. And I need the numbers, baby. We are in a battle. We're in a battle state. We are in a battle. And I need you to just throw your vote to me, to who I'm telling you that's going to be better for me. If I'm negotiating, you see what's happening. For example, you see what's happening with the Palestine protests across the country in the schools. Right now, under a Biden administration, they are, you get what I'm saying? They are literally protesting and they're at least semi-respecting that they can peacefully protest. If we get a Trump administration with with them trying to make cops not liable for killing people, they already ruled that the president will be immune to whatever he wants to do. They already ruled that in the Supreme Court. So you're setting it up to where they can just kill motherfuckers for protesting Palestine, as opposed to what the Biden administration is doing currently, which you may not love, but it's not that. And so if I'm telling you, I can protest the Harris administration much, much more effectively than a Trump administration. If I'm telling you this, and this is just facts, if I'm telling you that it will be easier for me to fight, I'm not telling you I'm not going to fight them. I'm not telling you that I want them to get in office and be like, oh, cherry blossoms and balloons. And oh my God, I'm telling you, I'm going to have to fight both of these niggas. I'm going to have to fight both of them. But I'm telling you, this motherfucker got a lot of hit points for my gamers out there. This one got a lot of hit points. This one don't got a lot of hit points. I got the tools I need to wear this one out. But if you give me this one, he got a lot of hit points. He got a lot of, he gonna have a lot more armor. If we set it up to where I fight this one, this boss, instead of this one has less hit points. I can figure and more weaknesses. I can figure it out with him. I'm trying to dumb it down. Do y'all feel what I'm saying? And so, if you care about community, if you actually do, just throw the vote our way and then keep complaining. And then when we think about the situation with Hillary and Bernie Sanders, there was policy talking points that Hillary changed when people were going on Bernie Sanders' side, universal health care, just different things. There was talking points that the left pushed her to talk about. I think it's important for us to push Kamala Harris to where we need her to be. You have to be accountable for what's happening in Palestine if you want to earn our vote. Vote. Talk to us nice. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on. How are you fighting this ceasefire? Yeah, you didn't show up to this little meeting. Okay, cool. But you privately discussed what the fuck was y'all talking about, my nigga? What the fuck was y'all talking about? Girl, what's tea? It can't be you on some Zionist shit. I think we have to know that we have the power to push. We can't just give up, and throw our hands in. We have the power to push these people right now. We might not have that power later. If you actually believe that we're heading to a fascist, if you believe that Project 25 is a threat, if you believe that we're heading to a more fascist system, if you actually believe that, then history should tell you this is not a game. I know that the Hitler comparison can be extreme to somebody. I don't think it is extreme. If you watch documentaries, read books, and talk to Jewish people, which is ironic in this political climate, back in the 30s and 40s, if you talk to hear stories from those people, you listen, they will tell you one of the mistakes we made was thinking that this was going to roll over and it was not going to get as bad as it did. By the time it got as bad as it did, it was too late. They were shipping us off to concentration camps. They was gassing us. We was getting off on trains at Auschwitz. I heard that so many times in books and in documentaries, people interviews, oral histories with people. We didn't think it was going to get this bad. One of the ones that is specifically, if you want to watch a documentary that is specifically to LGBT Jewish people, if you go on Netflix, it is a documentary that I actually absolutely love, called El Dorado. Check it out. It's amazing. It's about because in Berlin and in that whole area, it was a thriving LGBTQ community. Where Hirschfeld was thriving, and he had a sexology institute. He was doing studies. It was tons of stuff, and so it was a hotbed of queer culture. Some of the Nazi officers were queer, which is crazy, insane, like documented queers. Some on the down low, but it was documented. We have pushed people on foreign policies before. I just don't think we collectively do what needs to be done to move the needle. But what I feel like in my consistently, we don't do what needs to be done to push the needle consistently. What I feel like is what proved that they will change some shit fast and in a hurry. That motherfucking COVID let us know that if we stop the world, if we stop the train from moving, they'll get right. You look at what be happening in France and shit. They will stop. They will go stop. What happened in Amsterdam? What happened in they're like, imagine if all the workers just stopped going to work. Laborers and unions, all these unions around the country. There's been other countries smaller than ours who have stopped. Like, no, we don't accept this. And I think that if we did that more often, I think we would be more effective. I think it's a little bit of survivor remorse. They feel they're living better than people in Palestine. What survivor? Which one? Who's a survivor? I mean, I understand the statement, but who? I don't know who is they. Define who they is. Um, my kiddo. So let me see. Let me see. I feel like what we're not in a situation to spend energy propping up a third candidate, but I get the appeal. Third party is a cop out. Yes, I'm sorry I'm writing so much. It's just really cathartic to hear someone talk about this. Frustrating on a daily, stressed me out for so long. You okay? I don't care. It's a conversation. Um, yeah, I think it's okay for us to critique and want to push. I have a weird I just have a weird I think not voting is weird. I think pushing, if you choose not to vote, pushing people to not vote is also weird because what for what? Like if the train is not going to stop, if your strategy is not to stop the train, if you're if it's not going to stop, then why not put us in the best position to negotiate? That's all I'm saying. Like, even if you don't like Harris, she is the best position to negotiate since the train is not going to stop, baby. That's the best person, the best administration to negotiate with, especially since the right has given us a blueprinted strategy since 1973 with the Heritage Foundation that has shifted and changed over time. They're literally showing us their playbook since Reagan. I feel like Harris is a clean slate compared to Biden. A clean slate? I don't know about a clean slate. She does have a history, a mixed history. She definitely has a mixed history. It's not bad as people making it. So let's talk about that. So it's a couple of things that I think is kind of weird. Um, and these are gonna kind of seem like contradictory things, but they're kind of not. Um, First, Kamala was never a cop. Was she the laws? Yes, she was the laws. She was never a cop. She was not one of the boys in blue. She was an attorney, a lawyer. She was the laws. She was the attorney of the state. So her job was to be to protect the state's interests. She was a state attorney, attorney general, okay? But she was not a cop. Okay? So that's different. I get it. So it's not like she had her guns out. That's number one. And this is why I think can be kind of opposed because there's some nuance to that. As the president, okay, The president is the commander in chief of the military. The president is leading the charge for all the governors. The president is leading the National Guards, or the states, the governors leading the states. The president is going to be over any type of state police, directly or indirectly. So if we're talking about who's the top cop, you can't get around the president leading, being the top cop, quote unquote. He's going to be the commander in chief, or she's going to be the commander in chief. So if you are anti-police state, anti-military, then you anti-government, my nigga. And I get it, but what you're voting for is the president of the government, the executive branch. And he is going to be over the military, or she. I keep saying he because the world is sexist and patriarchal, but because we haven't had a she yet. She is going to be over. She's going to be the commander in chief. So she's really, if you didn't like her being the top cop as a state attorney, if that's a bad thing, then you don't like our system at all. And that's okay for you to not like our system, but that's just the nature of the system, for them to be over the military. That's just normal. So I know people in general have been saying that, oh, she locked up black men. And that's just a myth. That is not true. During her tenure as the district attorney, people arrest and incarceration went down under her tenure. That's just the facts. You can look those up. It's just the facts. It went down. She also fought to let me make sure I got my notes. She also, so I said, in my notes I said the reality is that her record is mixed. Mostly good to me, but it's some shitty stuff on there too. So when it comes to Kamala, these are two examples that are kind of like, girl, this is some shady shit going on here when I think of criminal. So Kamala, when the state attorney, when the Supreme Court of the state of California said that capital punishment was unconstitutional, Kamala appealed that decision. Okay? So she was for capital punishment. So now when we talk about being anti-prison, abolishing the prison and the carceral stay, that capital punishment is a part of that conversation. Do we have a right to kill a motherfucker, as capital punishment? Okay? And she appealed it. So her stance was, yeah, capital punishment is like electric chair, killing somebody for crimes. Like electric chair, anything that'll kill you because you did something wrong, we're going to put you on death row. Any of that. That's capital punishment. So she appealed and said, when they said that, no, that's unconstitutional, we don't fuck with that, she appealed it, saying that it should be. But one of the things that she didn't appeal was Prop 8. Y'all know what Prop 8 is. This is her history. We're not talking about right now. It's done past now, but Prop 8. Prop 8 was about gay marriage. So we love to act like So certain people will love to act like she didn't do anything wrong, and then certain people will act like she didn't have the power to do anything. These two issues she had the power to. She had the power to appeal Prop 8, and she had the power to appeal and Prop 8 is marriage, gay marriage. Power to appeal Prop 8, and she had the power to appeal capital punishment. She only appealed one. So where she did have the power, now I'm not saying that I wanted her to appeal Prop 8. No, hell no. I think we should be able to get married. Queer people should be able to get married. So I didn't want her appeal, but what I'm using these to point out something that in when she was in power, she made decisions. So I don't want you to think that she's infallible or she doesn't have the power to do certain things. She could have not appealed capital punishment. And she could have appealed that, but she chose one of those two. Now, where you stand on those issues, okay. I'm for Prop 8 and I'm against capital punishment. So I wouldn't have appealed that. I aligned with the Supreme Court of California. I align with Prop 8. I think that we should be able to get married. So I wouldn't appeal either one of them. But she made the decision to appeal one. And so these are, and there's many other things, but those are examples of how certain decisions that she made were spicy to me. It may not be spicy to you. I remember she was for gay marriage. She was for gay marriage earlier than most people, but she was also in San Francisco, of course. her stop. She is from Oakland. She's a black girl from Oakland. So San Francisco is a liberal. I'm not saying it's perfect because I know I'm intimately involved with San Francisco politics through my connection to San Francisco. Not saying that it's perfect, but as far as the rest of the country, it is one of the most liberal cities when it comes to queer people. It is. It's just what it is. Yes, capital punishment is the death penalty. Also, she was against Kamala Harris during her tenure, was against getting trans criminals their gender assignment surgeries. She was against that. So some of the trans people were like, oh, she don't fuck with us. Now, Diamond Stylz, I too am against that shit. Girl, you go to jail and get to doing criminal stuff. Honey, I don't think it's the taxpayers' dollars that should be paying for your pussy. Sorry. I just don't. That's just keeping it real. So there's trans people who disagree with me. I don't align with trans that part of the trans community. I don't align with that as a trans person myself. I don't think taxpayers should be paying for your pussy. Sorry. I just don't. If you go to jail, that's a right. Now, if you out and you got insurance and I think that's a different thing. The state, sure. But if you get locked up, I think that shit postpones. Do I think they should give you your hormones? Sure. That's not, honey, they giving the military Viagra. So giving you some hormones, that ain't shit. So that's just me. I think getting people's vaginas is just too far for me. And I know a lot of trans people that think that's what they should do. I'm not one of them people. Another element that is negative on Kamala Harris's record. Kamala was a supporter of SEPTA and FOSTA, the bill that shut down Backpage and all the and Eros and all the other sex worker sites under the guise of stopping sex trafficking, blah, 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 blah. As a sex worker who was affected by those bills, I am somebody who has been fired from regular jobs 3 times in my life, which led me to sex work, and it was the only way that I could take care of myself. That put me in a situation where I, I can't advertise to help take care of myself for 2 adults to have consensual sex. Shady. I think that that's shady. I don't think that that is helpful. I don't think that it took the sex worker game underground, and the further underground that it goes is the actual less safe that people who are sex trafficked are. I believe in decriminalizing sex work. So that is a negative to me. Now, if you somebody who feels like, you know, sex work is pretty much everyone voted for FISA, Bernie Sanders included. I don't care if everyone did it or not. I still have a problem with it. That's true. It's cool. That whoever voted for it, that's okay. That's their prerogative to do, but it's still wrong to me and put us in harm's way, especially when you're not doing the things to help us protect us. At this time, we hadn't passed the work discrimination for trans people, workforce discrimination. That got passed in 2020, June 8th of 2020. So I see y'all are not helping me. Y'all trying to the right is the right and some of the left. Particularly during the Clinton years. Clock that T. Um, um, y'all have given more barriers to get assistance, reduce assistance. So everything that in particular trans people, every social structure that would help people in hard times, y'all have given barriers, y'all have reduced access to it, but also reducing my work, reducing consensual work. Because I'm somebody who believes sex work is work. You may not, but I'm somebody who believes that it is work. So you're stopping me from making my money, but also stopping me from getting access to things. Oh, the Clinton era, when it comes to SNAP and benefits and welfare, they shifted it was some of the most horrible shifts when it comes to um people who are getting assistance, when it comes to all the rules around getting assistance, what you need to do to get assistance, all those rules and barriers. The Clinton administration wore it out more than Reagan. But that was one of the reasons why they were able to win. Clinton was able to win. He was really tough on crime and tough on welfare and all this kind of stuff that harmed poor people. But yes, so Kamala's history when it comes to sex worker and harming sex worker, and as somebody who is trans, who was a sex worker when that was implemented, this is my lived experience. I'm not talking from outside of the community. I'm talking, but this is literally something that affected my life and it affected my livelihood. And so if you don't know nothing about that life, you wouldn't understand that that was a negative thing. And so to me, that is a stain on Kamala's record. A positive on Kamala's record is there were like 70 unsolved murders when she came into power, that was just sitting and nobody was caring about them, and she cleared the docket of them. She got justice for a lot of people who children and husbands was murdered. She really closed a lot of cases. She also had, for nonviolent people, there was like nonviolent charges, people who were in prison. There were programs that she created to get them out of prison and released a lot of people so that they would particularly like nonviolent small drug amount charges, possession charges, stupid little shit. She got them out of jail. um she had tons of programs that she created, groundbreaking programs that released a bunch of people out of jail. So when somebody talk about, oh my God, she locked up a lot of people, they lying. They have not went into her record and see what she actually does. First of all, she had the least amount of people going to prison during her tenure. So that's number one. And she had programs that released a lot of people. And people like she locked up thousands and thousands of black men. It actually like was like 100 in 1,000, not 100. 1,090 1900. It was like 1900, like 1900 something. And out of that 1900, it was only like what is 147? I can't remember the numbers. I wish I had pulled it up. It was like only 140. There was that many arrests, but it was only like 147 that really went to prison. That went to jail, and even less of that went to prison. So the number is really skewed. They are exaggerating the number of people. So I say all of that to say she has a mixed history. And it's okay to talk about that mix. It's okay to say, this is a spicy candidate. It's like, there's part of stuff that I like and part of stuff that I don't like. But making it seem like she is a Trump, making it seem like she is just the worst thing that could ever happen to the presidency after Trump, you're lying. You're being disingenuous. No, I understand critiques, smart critiques. I understand them. Yes, I think what's happening in Palestine is shitty. I am anti-Zionist. That is not cool. I think that, I want to abolish the prison system. Now, let me give some caveats to that. Listen, I want the prisons not to exist. I want there to be a more restorative justice way of doing things. I want I want us to explore other options. I want us to defund the police slowly and get people to and get people who are more expertly equipped to do certain things, like um look at mental health checks. I don't think police officers should be doing mental health checks alone. I think mental health checks should be accompanied with psychologists and social workers and mental health care people. I think that there should be funding that goes from funding police, like direct officers, and fund some mental health people, because we look at this what's the lady who just got killed? um I forgot her name. Say her name, say her name. um Her name is Sonia Massey, that just got killed by the cops. They were checking in on her. I don't think it was a mental health check. I think she thought that there was somebody in the house. But there's tons of research, even the research that I've done, like official research, when it comes to like trans deaths. We know the predominant people who are getting murdered in trans deaths are trans women, particularly dark-skinned black trans women. But if you take them out, they dominate the numbers. But if you take them out and just look at trans men, 40% of the cases from 2000, and this is data that I collected in my partnership with Insider, um, that I won my journalism award right there. um, that I won for. That data, 40% of the trans men who were murdered, now they were really, a lot of them were murdered by their intimate partners, but a lot of us too. But 40% of the cases were killed by police on mental health checks, not violence, well, it was violent. I'm sorry. Violence, yes, but not intimate partner, not domestic abuse, not some transphobic hater on the street hating on them. No, it was police. Crazy. Um, so I think that we could invest the money that we are investing in them. There should be some money that's invested in the mental health services, even if there is a section, and this is a compromise. There, even if there is a section in the police department that is specific to take the handles and take care of the mental health stuff, not the, and there could be some regular police officers that go with them, but if this is just a mental health check, we don't have to come in guns a-blazing. I think that can be a move in the right direction when it comes to defunding the police. So I believe all of this. So you know what I'm saying? I believe in defunding, and defunding isn't not necessarily taking the police away altogether, but there's a lot of money that goes into the police state that is not properly utilized. And so we need to shift some things. And so, because I want to, I believe in abolishing the prison, and I want a reproductive justice, not reproductive justice, restorative justice way of doing things. We are not there yet. And so, when some dude come break through this door because they hate trans people and come attack me, I might call the police. Not if I can't get to my gun. If I can get to my gun, I'm blowing their head off. But if I have to if I can't get to my gun and I get to my phone, I'm gonna call the police, even though I'm anti-police. Because in that moment, I need to protect myself. And sometimes they can come and protect me. Sometimes they can kill me too. But it's a risk I'm willing to take because I need help in this situation. If I'm in a domestic violence situation with my man and he's punching me in my face and wearing me out, the only thing that I can do sometimes is call the police. And so until we get to the ideal of having a great system that doesn't kill people, that doesn't put people in cages, blah, 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 until we get there, if we ever get there, I have to use the tools that I have to be able to protect me as an individual who is in certain situations. If somebody robs me and take my purse, I'm gonna call the police on your ass. Period. Because that's the tool I need right now to get my purse back or to get justice. Okay. As long as she gets a new staff cabinet, I don't want her to retain Secretary of Genocide Blunkin. I think she will be something of a clean slate. Interesting. Oh yeah, I agree. The LAPD gets too much funding and they could be taking some of that money to help the people in need in Los Angeles. Absolutely, absolutely, Jenny. Chris Daniels, I think it's more good than bad. Yes, I agree, Chris. I think it's way more good than bad. But I think that she is, it's a mixed candidate. She's mixed. She has all, particularly around the LGBTQ, um, particularly around the LGBTQ stuff. She has been overwhelmingly positive to us. There's been some missteps, but overwhelmingly she has been down for us. It hasn't been, and early. before it was niche. Even like if we talk about Bernie Sanders has been down with LGBT rights since the 70s, but he didn't publicly come out and support gay marriage until 2009. Yeah, the whole Israel thing is bullshit. I don't like any of that. Anything going on with that. Anything. So yeah, I guess why I wanted to talk about Kamala is to um validate some of the critiques, but also say that like it's okay to critique and push people in the direction that you want it, but know that we are not going to be able to do that to that other side. They're not going to even listen to us. They rarely reach across the aisle. They're not trying to do that. That's one thing I hate about Democrats. First of all, why don't we have a Project 25 type strategy? That's number one. We don't have that. Number two, there's too much bipartisan shit that they don't do on the other side. We do all the compromising, we'll get this, get that, da 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 da, but they don't do that on the other side. They will block. Remember when they blocked Obama from appointing a fucking justice? Just blocked it, and we're in the situation that we're in now. Another element, and I talked about it on the podcast. Another element is there are some states, okay? Every state, when it comes to voting and when it comes to primary, who is the candidate and blah, 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 they have different rules. And there are some states that it can be potentially contested that she get the Democratic nomination after the primary. And so if that goes, if somebody sues and appeals those decisions, it could be put, and that appeal goes all the way up to the Supreme Court that is skewed towards conservatives. That can get real spicy, y'all. That could be a spicy situation where her presidency could be contested based on certain states and laws of him stepping down. I don't know. That can get real spicy. Chris says, I hope she will win. It scares me to think of another Trump winning. I think we are on the right side of history, but we have to be very, very diligent about how we talk to people. I ain't talking about coddling, but we can't be always, because some people will not vote out of spite. How can you tenderly convince people that voting is the strategy in your circle? It don't need to be a million people, just the people that listen to you. Who can you inspire? It could be 5 people. It could be one person. Who listens to you and respects your opinion enough to get them to the polls? Focus on those people. If you're listening, thumbs up. My best friend is fighting me with all the I'm not Kamala, cuz. Okay. Then you have to figure out how to make it not a fight. Appeal to some other sensibilities. Because if they're your best friend, that is something that you know about them that they care about. Appeal to some other sensibilities. They have to be a good person if they're your best friend. So, what? Pick another angle. I don't know your friend to know what the angle should be, but pick another angle. I'm not arguing with people. This go around, I'm not arguing. I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna make my points, but you know who I'm definitely not arguing with? Black men. Mm-mm. Have a good night. All right. So, what do y'all want to talk about outside of this for this last 40 minutes? What is on your mind outside of Kamala? Yeah, shit like that. If you don't know that Trump didn't if you don't know that Trump didn't give us those checks, you don't have a political analysis. You don't have enough. You haven't. I don't know. You. It's like some. If you. It's almost like somebody who doesn't know that the House of Representative Congress are the ones who control the money. Like it's or that we have three branches of government. It's kind of like that. Like you don't know that the Republicans were fighting against giving stimulus checks, and Nancy Pelosi worked her magic to be able to pass to give stimulus checks. It just is. If you don't know that, then you aren't somebody who is political savvy enough to have a conversation with me, let alone argue with me. So Sonia Massey. Sabrina, I don't even know what to say. That hasn't been said over and over. How many of us have to get killed by the police? How many Black women have to get killed by the police? What was not said with Sandra Bland? What was not said with Rakia? What's the one that got killed by that man at the on that porch? I mean, police are out here killing us. And it's so common. Like, what hasn't been said? I don't even, it's not that I don't want to talk about it, but it's like, what hasn't been said? What's some nuance to it? It's no nuance. These motherfuckers are just killing us because they fucking have too much authority. It's just over and over and over and over and over. And because it used to be you would hear about your local ones because the news and the newspaper, but because of the internet, we get to hear about all of them now. Lucky us. It's so many names and lists of names, and the police just killed a little boy recently, like within the past week or two. A police killed a little boy. So another Tamir Rice type of situation. It's crazy. I don't even know what to say. That hasn't been said. There's no nuance to it. They're fucking crazy. They have too much power. And Trump's administration and the right is trying to give them more power. Well, we have two. We have a very young Amy Comey Barrett is young. What I'm really worried about is that they're going, if Trump wins, they're going to get a Supreme Court. The old heads, the old Supreme Courts, they're going to resign and put somebody younger. So we potentially have another 50 years. First of all, I think that lifetime appointments is crazy. I actually think that since we have a two-party system, however many it should be divided up equally. And there'll be one fucking independent chair. Like if we have 9, we can rank the 4. We can rank. What would be dope is if we rank. Okay, so since we have a 2-party system, we just do. We can have 2 long-term. 4 long-term, 4 4 long-term for each side, and 1 is the deciding factor, and that one isn't long appointed. Like, you can go, if you can pick from, I don't know, this is just me strategizing or me thinking about it to make it fair. You can pick, this is just hypothetical, so I'm just thinking about it. Like, imagine having 4 Democratic, like guaranteed 4 Democratic judges and 4 conservative judges. Like, that's just the standard. This party gets to pick this 4, this party gets to pick this 4. But that middle one is the spicy one. Or open it up a little bit more and do, you have 4 right-wing judges, 4 left-wing judges, and 3 spicy ones where they independent. Just so it's not hanging on one motherfucker. I think that would be dope. Because then you ain't got to worry about the courts being stacked. Nope. I wouldn't want that. Because with that scenario, you stack in the court. Because there's way more conservative states than liberal states. I want it to be even. There's so many more red states. No. I think it should be 4 appointed judges on both sides, guaranteed Democrat, guaranteed conservative, and 3 rotating spicy ones. Oh no. This is so good. I really need to be eating food. Food. All right, what else? What else y'all want to talk about? We got 30 minutes. What else is going on? Have y'all been following the Olympics? Goy roll. I'm looking for track and field. I'm looking forward to track and field. They will air the first week of August. I will be in St. Louis. I'm looking forward to Simone Biles. So Sha'Carri Richardson. There's this long jump dude that I really like. He got a big old dick. You can see it when he doing his long jumps. So that's how I found him. But he going to the Olympics and I live. He be doing his long jumps in tights, baby. Everybody be in the comments saying, damn, he jumping with 3 legs. And you know he got a big dick because when he posts his content, it's always showing that motherfucker. I'd be like, woo, Olympian. They be in the comments talk about, oh shit, I done spilled my sauce. Shit. No. They be in the comments like, no fair. He got 3 legs. No fair, no fair. It is a mess. I wish I remember his name, but his name isn't his name. It's some kind of, some kind of username, but I can't remember what it is. You see the show about the ladies from Doom coming to Max in November? Doom Prophecy about the Bejezeret. Yes. I can't wait to watch it. The Bejezeret is the most interesting thing about Doom to me. Have y'all been watching House of Dragon or no? I don't know. However you say it, I don't know how to pronounce it. Bejizeret or whatever. The bitches that can control you with their voice. I gave up on Game of Thrones. Ring of Power was boring. I'm gonna watch it because I wanted to continue, but it was boring to me. I love Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is fire. We got 2 more episodes. Yeah, I only watch Ring of Power because I'm a Lord of the Ring fan, but I was disappointed and it was boring to me. Dumplings. Mmm. Steamed. So, Jenny, I don't know if you got your surgery yet. When did you say you was getting your surgery or getting it soon? So, August the 2nd will be my year anniversary of my surgery. And so, as you could just see, I ate some chips, I ate some goy roll, and I just ate 2 dumplings, and I feel full. So I'm able to eat a little bit more now, and I'm down 100 pounds. I went from a size 24 to a size 16. I'm I'm a 16 now, which is not exactly what I asked for. I wanted to be a 14, but I can do the rest of the work to get to that. um, but yes, word, good job, good job, good job, good job. Ring of Power watching me scroll on my phone. Yeah, it was set up to be great. I just didn't feel it. Word. Yes, 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 yes. Congratulations. Yeah, when I started off, it was I could eat way less than what I can do now. Now I'm cool. It's like, oh, okay. I could eat a little bit more than I used to. But I want some Zimpy. Some Ozempic, is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? I don't want to know. I don't want to get skinny because being skinny, being slim triggers my dysphoria. I feel like I look when I'm smaller. I feel like I look extra strong. But when I got a little flesh on me, I feel jiggly, baby. I want to be fleshy and jiggly. That's what I like. But also, what I prayed about is not having that kind of crepey, saggy skin. I don't know if anybody here got it, but I didn't want the crepey skin. And I'm not saying I don't. It's jiggling a little bit, but this is the same jiggle that it was given before. So it's y'all know what I'm talking about. That kind of um, that's that kind of skin. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That kind of real that look like curtains. Yeah, I don't have none of that. And my stomach, like even my stomach just looks like it's fleshy, but it ain't like like I done it ain't like nothing. It's fleshy, but it ain't crazy. But I have gotten my little, I'm slim, wear it out, It's perfect. It ain't bad. I'm good. I prayed about it. I said, let me do a cute little candle and prayer to Oshun, baby. She is over beauty and art and sexuality, baby. Oshun, I need you to bless me. I need you to bless me. I don't want to look like a deflated human body. I don't want to look like that. And so, I feel good. I feel sexy and slim and not slim, but I still feel sexy. I still feel feminine. I still, you know what I'm saying? I haven't lost enough weight for me to look like, ooh, you look emaciated. That booty ain't going nowhere. Oh no, it's not. It's not going nowhere. No, 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 no. But yeah, I done got down to a 16 and yeah, I want to get to a 14 because I still want to be plus size. I don't want to be like I said, being smaller makes me feel it makes I don't know if it's just a mental thing with me. Being skinny and tall, because I'm 5'11, being skinny and tall makes me look taller. It makes you, to me, in my brain, it makes me look taller. When I'm small, it makes me look like I'm a stick up and down. So I need a little va 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 voom to make me feel like, you know, like I'm a woman, honey. I don't like, I don't like that. I want to feel, you know, thick. So I do want to still be plus size, but I just want to, yeah, I want to be like a 14. Like a 14 would be perfect. What I really want to be is this, whatever size that I can always find in the store. That whatever size I can, whatever the top size is that I can always find in the store. Because what I hate is going to a store and they don't go up to plus sizes. They don't go up to a 12. They don't go up to they don't go past a 16. They don't go past it. I want to be whatever size that is always in the store. I'm tired of having to shop online. I'm tired of having to go to stores and my size is not there. That's what I'm tired of. I don't want to be skinny. I don't want to be a 2, but I want my size to be available in the store. When I go to out the country, I want my size to be available in the store. I want to be able to shop the stores again. Exactly. That is what I want. My goals is to be able to shop overseas. Right. I couldn't buy shit overseas. I could buy stuff in London because them hoes is fat too. I could buy stuff in London, but I definitely couldn't find shit in Paris. Um, honey, definitely not Paris. Because folks in Paris is slim. They small. And you feel it. Like I told y'all that the elevators wouldn't let the elevator wouldn't let us go up because in America, I have never been in an elevator where I was anywhere near the weight limit of the elevator. Never been in an elevator where I was anywhere near the weight limit. Usually because elevators are like 200 and 2,000, 2,500 pounds, 2,500 tons, or whatever. How many? It's some crazy number that no human being will be able to fit. There are elevators in Paris where you cannot be over 320 pounds. So me and my homegirl could not ride the elevator with our luggage. We couldn't ride the elevator with it with just us two because us together was over 320 pounds. So we literally, in our Airbnb, we had to send one of us up and each one of our bags to the floor that we were going to because we could not ride the elevator with our bags. That's how crazy it was. I had never experienced that. We literally had to put our bags and send it up because we couldn't ride up. we couldn't ride together or with our bags on the elevator. And the elevator said the limit is 320. And so my homegirl, three, I was by myself. I was 310 at the no, I was not three nothing. I'm sorry. I was at the time, I was 295. And so if I wiggled, like if I moved, the elevator would be like, and bitch, you doing too much. And stop. So I had to literally go to the edge of the elevator and sit there and be still so that it would not register that I'm 100, that I'm even close to 320. Now my homegirl was over 320. And so we figured it out, or really close to it or something, where we figured it out to where she could stand on the elevator to get up on the elevator. Crazy. And this was multiple elevators. It wasn't just one. When you go to the restaurants are so packed. Even the ones when you're sitting outside, the seats are like little seats. It's crazy. It definitely it's not a place for big people. It is definitely not that. Everybody in that building wasn't 320. It wasn't nobody big in that building but us. It just wasn't. It wasn't nobody big. But we also stayed in the bougie area of Paris. We stayed in the 7th district, which is like a uppity area. And so what people walking around wasn't nobody fat. I don't know. It wasn't nobody. I don't remember. I seen one big dude. I seen one big man, one of our Ubers. But as far as people just being big, I didn't see that many people. Not in the way that you see them in America and in London. And you feel it. You feel it, baby. Were the people in Paris rude? Was it dirty? Um, it was dirty. Yes. It was dirty, especially around certain areas. Certain areas was clean. It always smelled like cat piss. Only time it smelled good, like, ooh, this is a good smell, is when you're around like a bread making place or when you're around a pastry place. Um, but Paris smelled like cat piss. It smelled like, like ammonia, that kind of cat piss ammonia smell. It smelled like that. But if you Google it, so what they do, they there's a bunch. Now, it's a give and take. So it depends on where you at if it's dirty, but in the clean spots, there's a bunch of also the culture around pissing in France is wild. Like Americans are used to going to the bathroom using it. It is nothing, y'all. It is nothing, y'all, for French people, not women, but men, for them to pull their dick out and just pull their dick out and just piss wherever they are. It is nothing. Like there are bathrooms, but men just pulling their dick out and pissing on a wall is really common. Like you could walk by and you could hear the like friends talking and walking past and da da da, and then one of them be like 1 second, and he'll just go over to the wall and piss. Like it's kind of strange and really common. Um, there's a lot of porta potties around. There's a lot of porta potties around, and from what I'm to understand, in the porta potties are these they have wood chips in the porta potties that is absorbing the piss, and they take the wood chips to fertilize the plants. like to fertilize the shrubs, because one thing that is beautiful in Paris is landscape. Like, you know how on some people's yard, like a rich person's yard, like you go to like one of these residential neighborhoods of a rich, like a rich upper middle class neighborhood, and they got somebody done landscape their yard to where their bushes are perfectly square. They done trim the bushes to where they look like perfection. Y'all done seen that, right? But they're like bushes, like, they come to your waist. They're like bushes. So, and you know how they done cut the top of them to where it's perfectly flat, and the sides of them, blah 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 blah, to the bushes. They do that to actual big ass trees. So that squaring off the hedges, yes. So how they square off the hedges, they do that to actual tall, big trees. Like they square it off. So it will look, so they will have a line of trees that look like a big block, like a big rectangle, a long rectangle of tall ass trees that they done shaved down to look like big ass shrubs. And so the landscaping around the nice parts are like immaculate and beautiful. And they put those pissy ass wood chips on the in the mulch of the trees. So at different spots, you will smell cat piss ammonia because it's real pissy ass fucking fertilizer for the trees. And the whole city smell like that. So it just smells like, sometimes it's stronger than the other depending on when they put them little wood chips, but it smells like cat piss. That's literally what it smells like. It smells like you have a cat that has pissed in your house. And it's faint sometimes. It's always there, but it's faint, and then sometimes it's stronger. Depends on where you are in the city. It's crazy. Yeah. I suggest people go there because it is a tons of history and tons of black history. So I suggest people go there. Um because France, Paris is older than the United States. That's also um what kind of amazes you, is that you will go to a place where the people rude. No. I didn't have any I had some rude experiences, but not any unusual rude experience that I like more than other places. People don't like Americans. And people don't like black foreigners. So if they think you, like in France, if they think you Arab or they think you African, they treat you bad. But if they think you black American, they treat you good because you're American, you have some coins and you're a tourist. So it'll be a lot of times where if you walk in and you don't say nothing and they can't hear your accent, they will be like being weird. But as soon as they hear your accent, oh, you're American. They wear you out. So it's anti-blackness is global, yes. Um, so you'll get that, but most of the places that we went to were pretty nice. Now, the further you go out of Paris, the ruder they get. So like in Nice, while I did have an amazing time in Nice, Nice is kind of like it's the French, not kind of, it is the French Riviera. And so there's a lot of bougie rich people down there. And so we went into this restaurant and he refused to speak English, even though he knew how to speak English. And this wasn't, I don't think this is bad. I don't think this is bad. I do think how he presented it was bad, but I understood it because I done seen people do that in America. So he was very much like, honey, you are in our country, baby. So you need to learn our language. So if you want to order here, then you need to speak French because we speak French. I think it was rude, but I don't think it was unreasonable because it's like, bitch, yeah, you in our shit. So, girl, and he literally was speaking French. And then when I said I don't speak French, he said in English, you are in our country, so you need to learn our language if you want to be served. So, bonjour. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I said, oh, okay. I got my translator out. Like, okay, well, let's see how I can say this in French. And I told him that. He's like, and then he says, see, thank you. He knew how to speak English, but because of the disdain for Americans and the arrogance of Americans, he was like, bitch, no, you in our country. But I've seen Americans be shady to where I understand why they do this. I was like, ooh, I was like, well, I feel you. Yeah, he's sick of our shit. Yeah, he was like, bitch, or go somewhere else. And it's like you can't even play the card of, oh, well, y'all don't want my money. Honey, we are everybody here is rich that's coming here. We go, y'all ain't go that little money ain't don't nobody care about that. So you don't even have no power to do anything other than get in line or buy. And they very much is like, okay. You see all these tables is full, honey. Wore them out. Wore us out. And we was like, okay, well, let me get these translators out. He was like, see, thank you. Merci. Merci beaucoup. And we sat there. I shut my fat ass up and ate my food. What Monique say? Well, I shut my fat ass up and ate my food. um, what else? But yeah, then when we went to Reams is like, oh, this candle smells so good. It smells so good that I don't even want to burn it. Mm, do y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Or do y'all not hear it? Do you hear it? Or is it too far away for you to hear? That is a frog, child. It is two frogs that be out there. And I don't know what happened with the storm, but the drains are kind of getting clogged up. And so it rained today, and I'm scared. I've sent an email to my management that I'm scared it's going to flood my apartment. But it's like a little pond outside, and it has created a pond outside because the drains are not draining, and that's unusual. But I always see them. But honey, this little pond, these frogs is like, oh, a party. And they have been hollering all as soon as the sun go down, they is out and sitting, they out by the water, and it's a bunch of them, and they are screaming, making that noise. That. Do y'all hear that? It's not doing it now. But yeah, they've been having a party, baby. They said, baby, it is a pine. It's a party. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. They is dancing and jumping, and it's a bunch of them. It's I know I hear at least three of them because they keep. I don't know if they're fighting or if they battling or if it's a mating call. I don't know what the hell it is. Whatever that croaking is. And last night I was like, you motherfuckers is having a ball. Cause you'll hear them sometimes, but it's almost like whatever this water has done. They're about the size of my palm, like about right here. They're like a little like you. If I could grab them, they ain't gonna let you grab them, but you will pick them up and they can fit in your little hand like this. They're about the size of they're about this big, but they are fucking huge. They are never this whatever this is, it's a bunch of them. They are loud. It's crazy. Loud, 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 loud. Loud, loud, loud. I'm thinking, okay, well, yeah. So Reams is Champagne country. And so we went there to do a champagne tour. And in Reams, they weren't bougie and rude. They out there hunching, right? They're not so in the French Riviera, they were like bougie and rude. There's the rich, rude people, but in Reams, they like the outskirts, the country. Not it wasn't necessarily rural, but like the suburbs. Um, I guess it would be rural, their version of rural, because it was out in the sticks. So yeah, like the farmland. Um, So they weren't rude at all, but they didn't speak English. They were like, baby, we don't know none of what you talk about. So, like in the city, everybody in Paris, everybody spoke English. That's like, yeah, everybody spoke English. Um, but in the bougie part of Nice, they were like, we speak English, but bitch, we ain't speaking it, ho. And in the Reams area, they like, oh baby, we would love to speak English, but we literally don't know how to speak English. We country French folks. We know how to speak French. That's it. We don't know how to speak English, and we just can't. We can't do it. It's not we're refusing to do it. Is we can't. So that was my experience in France in regards to that. But in general, I had a good time. I had a good time shopping, even though, some of the regular stores didn't have my size. That month of the thrift stores, baby, woo, you can find so many things at the thrift stores. The thrift store, thrifting, I love thrifting in Chicago, in and New York. I love thrifting there. Those two places. But in Paris, oh my God, the thrift stores were amazing. The consignment shops and the thrift stores, oh, they were so clean and organized, and they had so many like dates. Like it, I mean, that because it's such an old place, they got stuff from the 1800s in their thrift stores. From the 1700s, from you know what I'm saying? They got places where it's like it's so much vintage. Whereas, like in America, your vintage is gonna go back to the 20s, it'll go back to the 40s, it'll go back to the 50s. You feel what I'm saying? It'll be like America. Like it's like, okay, it's going back to you know, the fashion times 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You know what I'm saying? But honey, Paris, because it's older than fucking America. It has stuff. The vintage shops got stuff that's like, oh my God, how old is this? And they know, and they have upkept it, and it's just dope. And then you'll go to places in the in the um in the city. So have y'all been to DC? If y'all been to DC and you went to Washington Monument, the tall obelisk, the tall oblique. What is that how you say it? Obelisk? Um, if you're up on it, if you're up on the Washington Monument, you can see there is it's a demarcation in the color of the limestone. And where there is a demarcation, like it's a lighter version and a darker version. When you're up close to it, you might can't tell from far away or in pictures, but if you're up closer, you see a demarcation. And where you see that demarcation is where they stopped building it. When they were building it, they stopped. And then because they either couldn't afford it, I can't remember the exact story. You got to Google that. But they stopped working on it. And so then they finished it. And so part of where they started and where they finished, it looks totally different because the weather was affecting one side longer than the other side. So I say use it as an example because that there are so many places in France where you can see the layers of where they have excavated, and you can see layers from like the 1200s. Like this layer of this wall we excavated is from the 1200s, and then right here is the 1500s, and right here is the 1700s, and right here you get what I'm saying, like they have, because they have built on top of things over and over and over and over again throughout the centuries. You literally can see where, like, people don't know that, like, the Notre Dame that had a it was built on top of a temple. So when you go in there and you go down into it, you can see where in the 12th century, this is where it had been demolished and now it's dirt. So you'll be in certain places that you like, oh my God, this is even like the catacombs and the crypts. The catacombs, because because this place has been going on for so long and the earth shifts, there are cemeteries that have been built over, and people will do excavation and the earth will shift and fucking skeletons will fall out of the wall because this used to be a cemetery in the 12th century. This used to be a cemetery. This house was built, or this building was built on a cemetery from the 1500s. And or they'll run out of places. Even the catacombs is, just, it's a fucking maze of fucking dead bodies that people get lost in, that you literally can get lost in, and they warn you before you go down there. You go down there with your tourists, stay with your tourists, because if you get lost down here, you won't be found. You get lost and you will not be found, baby. Because there's a part of the catacombs that people haven't explored and people don't know. So, girl, good luck. They were restoring it when I was there. It was dope. But it did catch on fire a couple of decades ago, or I can't remember. They were telling us about a fire, how it got caught on fire. And even like gentrification, we went on this queer history tour, and they were talking about how, because it's such an old city, and how gentrification works. So you know how we can tell when, like Central Park was built on a black town and blah 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 blah, shit like that. That has happened so much in Paris, where it'd be the ghetto at one point, and then they come in and buy it up. Rich people come in and buy it up and turn it into something amazing, and then it turns into the ghetto again. Just over centuries of different areas turning from ghetto to uppity. It's kind of amazing, where he was just describing how this is where all the queer people lived in this century. This is where all the queer people lived in this century. This is where all the queer, because each one of them were different ghettos. But yeah, it was tons of, I love the history. I love the food. Um, French people cook like white people, but in a delicious way. White people who know how to season, but they don't season like black people, but they season like they season well enough to where the food isn't just bland. It's good. But it ain't real like spicy and it it's good, but it ain't season. It's not, it doesn't have the complexity of like Cajun food or um Indian food or black southern food or Caribbean food. It doesn't have the complexities that I like. But it was way better seasoned, way better, way more flavorful. They definitely cook good. But they also have amazing baking skills. Their pastries taste like heaven. Pastries, oh God, heaven. There was this bakery that I went to every morning, just for uh, um their chocolate. I don't know what they called it, but it's basically a chocolate croissant. It was like so buttery and flaky and chocolatey and melt in your mouth. Delicious. So good. So good, so good, so good, so good, so good. So good, so good, so good. But all right, y'all. Make sure y'all thumbs up. I will talk to y'all. I won't talk to y'all next week because I will be in the loo. I think I will be in the loo. Yeah, I will be in St. Louis next week. Happy birthday, Rakim. My brother's birthday is today. Happy birthday. Yes, I will be back on, that's the second. I will be back on the 9th. So I'll be back chatting with y'all on the 9th. But yeah, y'all have a good night. If you're listening to this after, please share your opinions. I would love to hear what y'all have to say. Do I have any announcements? Oh, if you're in the Houston area, I will be screening my documentary here in Houston on August the 21st. It is going to be a huge event here in the city, and it will be at the Black owned Deluxe Theater. So if you are in the area, if you're in Dallas, if you're in New Orleans, if you're in anywhere in this area, or you're going to be here visiting anytime in August or plan on visiting, August the 21st, that's a Wednesday, I will be doing a free screening of my film at the Deluxe Theater. I hope you come and join me. And yes. Also, let me go to something else. The Harris County LGBTQ plus Commission. I am one of the at-large commissioner. It is the first LGBT commission here in Harris County. I am the only Black trans woman on the commission here in Houston. If you are in Harris County and you are interested in sharing your experiences or pushing or bringing some attention that we need to push in legislation, that we need to push for our city to move forward, please come to the listening session. We want members of our community to kind of provide us. We wanted to provide a platform for them to come and for people in the community to come and express their thoughts and share like their perspectives and any recommended way that we as a commission, as a LGBT, of the official LGBT commission, we wanted you to know that you can come talk to us and know and give us suggestions on how we can push our county to a more inclusive state of being, inclusive and safe place to live and work. So please come. It is going to be on August the 14th at the Montrose Center on We're going to start at 7. So 7 to 8. So make sure you come and fuck with us. And you can come in person. We're going to be in person, but you can do it on the Zoom as well if you just want to do it on the Zoom. And so it's just a listening session just so we can see what's going on in these streets. So yes, check that out. What else? Oh, it's too soon to talk about that. But I'll let y'all know. So y'all know Luther Vandross has a documentary coming out. It was at Sundance. I'm doing an event around Sundance. Not Sundance, an event around the Luther Vandross documentary because it's so amazing. I think it's coming to HBO in 2025, but I'm not 100% for sure. But I want to do an event around it because I think it's an amazing, informative show. Also for Trans Empowerment Week here in Houston, I want to do an Emerald City themed party. I think I'm gonna do it in collaboration with one of the orgs here. We've talked about it. We haven't talked about it. And I want y'all. The goal is for me. It's gonna be Emerald City, like the Wiz, and the goal is to the first hour it be green, the next hour it be red, and the last hour it be gold. And so during the party, and I want everybody to wear like silver and nudes, and the lights will change colors, but your clothes will change colors when the lights change colors. Now, I'm working out the details, but that's my goal, and it's gonna be an event that celebrates queer people, all queer people, but it's gonna be led by Trans Marches Play and another org, and so I want to have a fire ass party in November. Also, me and my homegirls, from Tiba Queen and J, from Money from Queer Walk Podcast, we are going to be doing an event at the National Women's Conference in Detroit in November as well. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on that I want y'all to come and participate. So if you are in the Detroit area and you want to come fuck with us, come fuck with us. That's gonna be in November. I'll have exact dates later on, but that's stuff to think about. But yes, also, oh God, I got so much stuff coming up. Another thing is me and Arya Saeed are doing a fashion event for plus size people. So we know that a lot of plus size brands are kind of going out of business. And so the ones that are still holding on, we really want to highlight some of the ones that are not just not size inclusive, they literally are a plus size brand. And because of how shit is going with economy and fast fashion, some of the quality brands are kind of like going under. And so we wanted to do an event where we kind of showcase plus size brands, and that's going to be in August as well. That's going to be the middle week of August. So right before my event on the 21st, it's going to be right before that. And yeah, so if y'all in the Houston area, we got a lot of shit going on. It's going to be fire. You can come and dress up and see some garments and buy some garments if you want to buy some garments. But we just wanted to do an event, a body positive event that kind of centers plus size Black designers and Black women. And yeah, that's going to be coming up. And so if you follow Marsha's Plate, we will be putting out like flyers and stuff soon. So yeah, that's about it. I will see y'all not next Friday, but the Friday after that. And yeah, have a wonderful night, y'all. Mwah. Let me see if it'll do the thumbs up. Yay, thumbs up. All right, bye.